Welcome back to In Brief, our 10-part conversation on how to start an e-commerce business. Arjun, Krishna, Lal, and I set up an e-commerce shop selling loungewear for men who are working from home, boxer shorts with pockets. And we wanted to take our experience and share it with other people. We know there are a lot of folks who are looking at maybe starting e-commerce businesses, looking at setting up small shops, and we wanted to share what we learned in a series of 10 to 20-minute videos, 10 to 20-minute videos about how to start an e-commerce business from scratch based on what we did right and what we did wrong, in case that's helpful to you. So today we're talking about things not to do when setting up your e-commerce business. And the first one I'm going to go with is don't buy someone else's product. And the way the whole project actually got started was I was looking for a small business to buy, and I was thinking of something service-oriented because that's all I had experience in. But I was looking at listings for small businesses around the area where I live, and there was a company selling boxer shorts that was available for purchase. It was an e-commerce company, and I thought, well, that would work. You know, it's e-com. I could do it out of my house. I don't have to be gone since I do caregiving as well. I don't have that option. And boxer shorts is something that it's not a complicated. I thought it's not complicated like technology, but you just sell it. So I called up a guy that I've worked with for several years. I've been his writer for a long time, and he has a large and successful e-commerce business. And I said, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think? And he said, well, I think it's a good idea. I think you can do it. And I think boxer shorts are a great thing to sell online. Do not buy someone else's product. I said, really, why not? He said, well, tell me about the company. I said, well, you get the website, you get the brand, you get the what's it called, like the patent on the shorts, because they're sort of an unusual little twist on boxer shorts. And then you get 5,000 pairs of boxer shorts. He said, Holland, if people don't like this product, you can't give away 5,000 pairs of shorts. There aren't enough Christmases and birthdays that you can hand people boxer shorts from now till you die to get rid of 5,000 pairs of boxer shorts. You're just going to have a garage stacked full of underwear if you're not careful. So he said, start planning your own product and sell your own stuff rather than buying something from someone else that's untested, because you don't know. You don't know if you can sell what someone else can sell, and you don't know if someone else is going to buy it. So, to me, it seemed easy. It was like, oh, this is practically a turnkey business. I'll just take it. And he said, no, don't. Just don't do that. Build your own thing from the ground up. Test it. Go small. Invest small amounts of money. Learn and grow with your own business.
I think reading between the lines there. Yeah. I think you read between the lines. One other thing there is that if you're looking to buy a business, especially if you're starting out and you're talking about buying under a small local business, what it kind of implies, if that's available for sale at even a remotely affordable price, is that the owner has some kind of challenge that they haven't been able to meet at that point of time. And are they just passing that on to you? Minus however much cash that you have to pay them. So that what if they're selling that because they realize nobody wants that entire set of boxer shorts and they're trying to pawn that off on you? So
right. Yeah. And as as we have worked our way through this process, I have wondered, those don't seem as good as they seemed when I started out. I just didn't think about all the things that you have to consider around the product design and the fabric and the stitching and the size of the hems and how thick the waistband is and all the things that we've learned about making boxer shorts. I didn't know to ask those questions.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought product, website, sales.
Yeah.
I know something that I talked with the Facebook ads guy, with Glenn, about was partnerships, because he's in, I'm in the US, you're in India, he's in the Philippines. And I asked him, how do you know when someone that you're contracting with, especially for something like Facebook ads, is legit? Because there are lots of people around the world who set up who will approach you on LinkedIn and say, I'm an e-commerce specialist. Send me X $1,000 and I will make your business grow. How do you know when not to work with those people? And his answer was social proof. he said if someone is a scammer, they're not going to take the trouble to put together a bunch of fake case studies and send them to you. They just want to move on to a quick victim. But if you can get case studies from people, you can legitimize them. But I know you wanted to say some things about partnerships too.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think I completely agree with that line that you're talking about there, and it's where do you where do you draw that line? So when I like personally when I started writing like a year ago, and even at that point of time when I reached out to Holland, when I reached out to you, one of the challenges that I personally faced was because there are so many low quality like content providers, digital marketers, and e-commerce experts out there who are like filling up people's inboxes. It's hard for legitimate people to kind of stand out. And what I did personally, what worked was, again, social proofing, saying, this is what I've done. These are the clients that I've worked for. Here's a PDF with case studies that is, relevant to your particular domain that I've done. So when you do that, the whole point is that because the bar is set so low, by low quality providers and their cold email pitches, that sets you apart. And I think that when you're looking for, I'm sure that when you're looking for, a great digital marketing, social media partner, that's probably something that came up as well, right? Like what have they delivered?
Yeah, exactly. And have they worked in the same general industry as you? I mean, selling boxer shorts is one thing. Selling, antique china is going to be a totally different kind of market. It's going to require a whole different approach. So someone may be able to do both of those things, but maybe not. Okay, so don't rush into a partnership, right? Don't buy someone else's product and don't rush into a partnership. I know something else that you and I have talked about is don't assume that this is quick money. So we've been working on this for a year. It's going to end up being 12, 13 months between the time that I first started thinking about this and called you and the time that we're actually going to sell our first pair of shorts online. And during that time, we've spent money, not made it.
Well, like I honestly feel like I remember we had that first call slightly before they declared a lockdown in India. So I kind of feel like the entirety of the time that I've spent under lockdown, this has been a recurring thing there at the back of my mind, and getting that to work and evolving. And it's been like that one constant in this entire year, which is kind of crazy.
Right.
Think about it.
Yeah. But if you need money next month, I think if you need money next month, starting an e-commerce business is probably not the solution for you.
Absolutely. The way to kind of conceptualize it, I think the best way is to look at it as a somewhat higher risk, but somewhat higher risk long-term investment. So this is money that you would set aside, that you would otherwise set aside maybe for your savings account, or that you'd otherwise set aside for some other investment in an asset that generates returns in the long term. So if you're just going to dump a lot of money into this and hope that like you said, like next month it's going to turn a profit, you need to plan for that not being an eventuality. So you need to have a plan B for at least a year, so that everything kind of comes together.
And you need to have cash on hand, not need cash on hand.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
And speaking of that, I know something that people sometimes do, and I looked into this as well, was drop shipping, right? Because then you're selling something in drop shipping, you're selling someone else's product. They create the product, they hold it in their warehouse, and you basically create the website and sell the product for them. And then you make your portion of the money and your supplier makes their portion. And I know that's something that's easy and it works for a lot of people. When we were having some trouble because of the lockdowns in India, I thought, well, I wonder if we should just start with drop shipping. And I looked at several drop shipping sites, and all I found for boxer shorts were either the really cheap boxer shorts that they wanted to sell me for 75 cents, $1 per pair. Thick, coarse material, a broad weave, looked like body armor rather than, and not in a good way. It was all plaid, like you didn't have sleeker colors and more modern styles or anything. Some of the little additions that we have, like the pockets that really help make ours, none of that was on there. Or alternatively, there were a lot of just, I guess it was lingerie for men, if such a thing is possible. It was gross. And I don't want to get into that either. This is not a sex shop. This is supposed to be some boxer shorts for guys who want to work at home and don't want to wear pants. So after 2 or 3 hours of searching through these sites, I just don't think drop shipping is the model for me. So, I wouldn't tell anybody don't do drop shipping, but I think don't assume drop shipping is your model right away.
I would guess that it depends maybe on the industry you're in or the product you're trying to sell.
I'm sure it
does. So as far as boxers are concerned, I think that's another thing about learning. I think that's something that you learn, that basically it's not going to work for boxer shorts.
Right.
Who knows about something else? But,
right.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so don't buy someone else's product. Don't rush into a partnership. Don't assume that e-commerce is quick money. Don't drop into drop shipping unless you know what you're doing. And I think the last point that I wanted to bring up is don't sell something that doesn't meet a legitimate need. And I see this, I don't know about you with your writing clients, but I see this with mine all the time. People want to sell something because they want to sell it. Right? They like it. And they think it's cool. Their friends think it's cool. So they set up shop. And they haven't thought about whether or not other people who aren't their friends, who aren't their family, and who aren't them actually want to purchase that product. It's particularly pervasive in the tech sector, where sort of the cliched young tech guy in his mid-20s says, I could create an app that does X, and everybody would want to pay me $1 or $2 or $3, or everybody would want to advertise on the app, and I'll make tons of money. And so they set it up. Maybe they even get capital to fund it without having thought about the fact that they just want to build an app and sell it. They haven't really thought about, do people want to buy it? Or, are enough people going to download it that advertisers will want to get on board with it? And I think that's okay if it's your hobby. If your hobby is something and you just want to do it because you want to do it, then understand that's what it is. But if you want to make money on it, you have to start with your buyer in mind and not your cool idea in mind.
So with boxers, I guess that's something where we kind of made that realization, because this is a need that we had as individuals, but then looking at the current environment, the whole work from home situation, it's a need that guys in general have.
Right.
So how do you go about addressing that specific need?
Did you have anything in particular that you wanted to add as a don't do this?
I think we've covered most of them. It's just I think to circle back, those 2 points that we talked about this being a long-term kind of commitment and investment, and building trust-based relationships on social proofing. I think those are the two really important don't do's, which is don't randomly get into a partnership with the guy on the internet, and don't on top of that, don't do this expecting that you're going to get money out of this in a month, and definitely don't do both of those things at the same time, because that's just dumb.
Somebody's going to be getting money out of that in a month, right? But it might not be you.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we wanted to share about things to avoid when launching an e-commerce shop. And that's one of our 10 to 20 minute videos on how to set up an e-commerce shop in brief based on what we've learned over the last year. And if you need boxer shorts, click on the link in the post above, and it'll take you right to our shop. All right, see you next time, and good luck with your shop.